This is an introduction to the Forrest Manufacturing built-to-order vertical blade traveling head saw. So I have a customer who needs a bandsaw to go inline into a production process. He is cutting, let's just call them panels, and they roll past longitudinally, so in the direction you're looking. Panels advance, and he wants to be able to cut them at any arbitrary width. So what we've done is we've taken a saw based on our model 2054 and mounted it on a traveling carriage. So, bandsaw wise, this is based on our model 2054. Pneumatic blade tensioning. Blade tension is controlled with an air pressure regulator and a 2-position 4-way solenoid valve. Air cylinder. Bearings are covered up. I'm going to point out here the motor for the blade drive is a 5 horsepower brake drive. 5 horsepower brake motor, and my engineer Jonathan did an absolutely artistic job of putting a guard around it. The specific configuration got a little weird, and putting a guard on this was a challenge, but he got it. Rick, can I borrow you a moment? Can I borrow you a moment? Play Vanna White. Okay, so yes, the control panel here. Actually, let me get the front screen first. Let me get the front door first. Fuse disconnect. Controls are running 110 volt. You've got controls to start and stop the saw. Tension, detention the blade. In the upper right corner here, the button on or off is a brake. So we have a spring applied pneumatic release brake. It interlocks with the saw start, so when the brake is not engaged by the spring, you cannot start the saw. Saw running indicator, blade fault indicator. If you either break a blade or you have low air pressure switch, you get the blade fault, can't run the blade motor. We have a laser. Laser on, laser off. This is just a guideline light. So push the laser on. Can't tell the this is picking up. You can see there. Projects a line of laser light where the blade's going to cut. I'm going to illustrate the brake. So this is our braking mechanism here. Let's see if we can get a decent view of it. Spring applied, pneumatic release. So right now the spring is released. Would you change the brake state, please? Up this one here. So that's the released. So now, yep. And so that's the brake engaged, and that's the brake released. Oh, the other brake's also set. So we got redundant brakes. So right now that brake is released. So we have a redundant manual only brake here. It's just a friction brake. And then I have an electronic digital readout for the head position. Would you push the head over? Go ahead and travel full length. There we go. Redundant brake there, and re-engage the brake. Okay. And would you start the saw motor, please? We do have guards for these lower wheels, we just have them off right now. The upper wheels are hinged. I was a little too tight down here, so these are panels that just bolt in and out. Blade guides. Lower blade guide here, 3-wheel assembly. Dust nozzle, place to connect a dust collection device. Upper guide. I'm gonna stop it. Would you crank up the guidepost for me? So we have a screw lock release for the guidepost, and then you can crank the guidepost up and down as need be. Good, thank you. Lock it back up. Shane, do you have one of those doors handy?
What is that?
You have one of those doors handy?
Yeah.
Would you throw one on for me?
Can't put a bar on it because that one has a different length.
Okay, we'll probably want to do a match mark or something. Okay, thank you. Another nice little detail here. So the saw head is mounted on the carriage at 2 points, with the design intending to allow it to change the angle of the blade. So right now it's set up dead vertical. You can see down there just barely the forward mounting point. The rear mounting point here has got some jacking screws built into it and some pinch bolts. So if you slacken off these pinch bolts, you can get on these jacking screws and change the angle of the blade. Not a huge amount, but shouldn't be able to need to change it a huge amount. Cables to the head are going in a cable carrier. Rubber bumper stops at both ends. For such a large amount of work, it doesn't look like much now. Oh, connections. So we have all the wires, everything here, terminated in this junction box on the side of the machine with a lever clamp style terminal blocks, much easier to install. We'll match mark all the cables as we, well actually they're all match marked in there, they're all marked. Then the control cabinet. We haven't poked any holes in it yet, so the owner of this machine can mount it as they like. But that's it. If you have any questions or need a specialty bandsaw, please feel free to call or email us at Forest Manufacturing. Thank you.